Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As it's a Wednesday, and why is my camera up so high? That's weird. It's not Wednesday, it's Friday. I'm all kinds of messed up. It's Friday, and today, whenever you watched it, was Friday night Smackdown. Not as good of a show as last week, but I still enjoyed it. And my notes just froze up, so let me pull those back up. But I enjoyed tonight's Smackdown. I will say that for sure. Give me 2 seconds to... Nope. Give me 1 second. As my notes all kinds of froze up. So I am going to... Let's see. Why can't I... Hold on. Let me close the browser and reopen it. There we go. Now we got some notes. We're working. We're good. What's going on, everybody? Tonight was Friday Night Smackdown. Yeah, we're doing a normal time podcast. Had some other stuff to do and whatnot, but it's all good. It's all good. Why is my mic so low? There we go. Now it's a little too high. Always got to be messing with things just not wanting to work right. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. For some reason, I feel like my chair is lower than normal, but I don't know why. Nothing just seems to be right now. But anyways, remember to help us out over on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Then we know when we go live, when we post new videos, and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, hit that join button to get access to a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat, access to our graphics packages, and so much more. And also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Games Store. Head over to the Epic Games Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. We got a bunch of stuff on sale right now. Detroit Become Human, $7.99. Hell Let Loose Deluxe Edition is only $20. And the free games right now, it's Styx Master of Shadows and Styx Shadow of Darkness Deluxe Edition. The 6 games are really good, actually. If you haven't played them, highly recommend it. And they got a bunch of other stuff, too. They're really pushing Marvel Rivals right now. And Arc Raiders, which is freaking phenomenal. Love that game, even though, you know, you get killed all the time and people just fuck with you. But Arc Raiders is both the best and the most just rip your heart out game at the same time, for multiple different reasons. Also, if you haven't played Heavy Rain, it's $1.99 right now on the Epic Game Store. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't know if it holds up. I might see... Ooh, is it on PS Plus? I might see if it's on the portal and replay that game. Heavy Rain was one of like the first big choose-your-own-adventure games, and it was great. Like, Heavy Rain changed things back in the day on the PS3. Heavy Rain changed things. Like, when they say Grand Theft Auto 3 changed the industry, I wouldn't say Heavy Rain changed the industry, but Heavy Rain pushed us in a direction that we didn't know we needed to go. A direction where you can have multiple endings, multiple outcomes to a scene, and you get to choose which way you go. Oh my God. Heavy Rain was a time, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we do. Ooh. Okay. So here's the thing with the Wednesday AEW streams. I know we need to get back to finishing Spider-Man. We're almost done. But then I've got some ideas on what I want to do with those. I know we're getting long in the tooth here with the opening, and I'm going off on a tangent. But I've now got 2 ideas. I've been thinking, we finish Spider-Man, and then we go and do Pokemon. I haven't streamed an actual Pokemon game, and I haven't played through a full Pokemon game in a while. But the question is, what game do we play? Do we play one of the newer ones, like Sword and Shield? Because I have Sword. Do we go back and play old games like, I don't know, Yellow, Green, Red, Blue? Do we go and play Fire Red and Leaf Green? Because I know people do the Nuzlocke stuff with Fire Red. Do we go and play, I don't have it anymore. Shit. I was going to say, let's go Pikachu. I don't have that anymore, though. That would have been a good one to do. That would have, oh, man. Hold on. How much is Let's Go Pikachu? If it's not that expensive. Whoa, what is this? Huh? Anyways, that's weird. Let's go Pikachu. How much are you? Just give me the digital edition of Pikachu. Oh, fuck, this take forever. And you are, come on, Nintendo. It's still a $60 game. Son of a bitch. Nintendo never puts games on sale. You can do Legends ZA. I don't want to spend money on a brand new game, though. That's the thing, Messy. Plus, I want, like, classic Pokemon. I've watched some people play Legends ZA, and it's different. And I'm looking for classic Pokemon. Now, it doesn't have to be, Gen 1, or it doesn't have to be, the old school games. But I want to play like a full-on original style Pokemon game where you're a Pokemaster. You got your squad. You're catching more Pokemon. You got to go through the different gyms to get the Elite Four and this, that, and so forth. I'm not looking to play. Yes, I know I can emulate. Emulate what? Let's Go Pikachu? Switch games? Emulate Switch games? I've done it before and it didn't run that well. But I can emulate Game Boy games, no problem. Like that, that's whatever. But the thing is, I want regular game. I'm not looking to play Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Pinball, which was a great game back in the day on the Game Boy. Had the freaking Rumble Pack. But anyways, we'll figure it out. Because now I'm sitting here going, shit. Do we just play through Heavy Rain? Do we just play Heavy Rain? Oh, man. Another good one that we did stream when it first came out, which is similar to Heavy Rain, and it might be the same studio, The Quarry. Quarry's great. Is The Quarry on PS Plus? No, it used to be. Is The Quarry on PS Plus? The Quarry's not on PS Plus. What? They removed it. God dang it. God dang it. I thought I had The Quarry. That's the thing. And I might have it on like Steam or something. That's one we should do. Chat. The Quarry. Let me see. Do I have The Quarry? Oh, I do have The Quarry on PC. I thought I had it on PlayStation, but I do have it on PC. Ooh, boy. Ooh, baby, I love the way. Ah, man. Trying to see. Oh, that's not going to work. Anyways, Smackdown. Smackdown was, I would say, a good show, but not as good as last week. The show kicked off with a recap of last week's 3 stages of Hell match and Drew McIntyre winning the title. Then, out comes the new champion. They're in the OVO Wembley Arena. And Drew gets a long special entrance. They got people playing bagpipes. He comes out, takes his time coming down to the ring, stands at the end of the ramp just looking out. This crowd is going nuts for Drew McIntyre in London. He gets in the ring. All this goddamn pyro starts going off. And it's 12 minutes into this show before he talks. Kevin Abreu, I just said I don't want to buy a brand new. What is Metroid for? 60, 70 bucks? I'm not looking to buy a $70 game right now. If I want to spend $70 on something, I'd go to the Chili Bowl tomorrow. Like, yeah. Anyways. Plus, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond had a lot of meh reviews. But also, Oh, it is on regular Switch. It is on regular Switch. I was gonna say, is it just a Switch 2 game? But it had a lot of meh reviews. Because I've never been the biggest Metroid fan, anyways. Like, something in me is like, I haven't played a Pokemon game in forever. Like a mainline Pokemon game. So I'm like, I kind of want to play a mainline Pokemon. Anyways, back to SmackDown. Drew gets in the ring. He gets a microphone. And again, it's 12 minutes in before he finally speaks. We got Joe Test and Corey Graves on commentary. So Joe Test and Corey Graves are the official new SmackDown crew, as is Michael Cole and Wade Barrett doing Raw. Drew said, Drew goes to speak when the music stops with the crowd. Oh, Drew McIntyre. Oh, Drew McIntyre. And I don't know if they did this on USA Network, but I was only watching on Netflix. They would go, oh, Drew McIntyre. And then they'd mute him for a second. And like, it was randomly muting the crowd, but they weren't saying anything bad, at least that I can tell. So Drew grabs the mic and says, I prayed for this to happen. And the crowds are shouting, you deserve it. You deserve it. And that's when Drew kind of turns on them. Drew said that he knows it's been a rough few years here in the UK. And if there's somebody that can bring us together as undisputed WWE champion, it's him. The first and only British WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. Drew said that the love that he's been getting for the last week, it's been amazing. But that ain't real. He feels like it's not real. Drew said he said screw you to everybody. Everybody jumping on the bandwagon to celebrate him now. Drew said that when he got fired, no one was behind him. When it was Roman Reigns, the bloodline screwing him over week after week, there was no uprising, no hashtag. Drew talked about how the fans did nothing when he got screwed by Roman. When the referees were helping Cody Rhodes and CM Punk was on his shit. Drew said that he only wanted to thank one person that knew this was going to happen. And I'm like, you gonna thank your wife? No, he thanked himself. Not even his wife. Not even the wifey. He said, thank you, Drew. Drew addressed the former, and he goes, man, it sounds great to say that. Former. Cody hates when I say it. Former WWE champion Cody Rhodes. He told Cody, don't even try to get a rematch because you Americans don't like to read. And I had it snuck into the clause that if I win, you don't get a rematch. It's put in the contract. Drew said that Cody's vanilla QB1 era is over and the new Drew McIntyre era will begin tonight. And that's when we hear voices. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. And Randy Orton makes his way down to the ring. Crowd singing along to the song. Every word of voices. He's wearing an RKO Everybody t-shirt. And Orton soaked it all in. Drew said he assumed that Orton came out here to congratulate him. And Orton goes, yeah, you know we don't like each other and that would never happen. And Drew's like, I was joking. I know. Orton then said, you know what? You know what you messed up? When you could have kicked my head into that announce table. But you didn't. You didn't. You hesitated. And when I become number one contender, I won't hesitate to hit you with the 3 most dangerous letters in all of sports and entertainment, the RKO. He's like, I will beat you and take that title. And that's when Drew... that's when the music of Jacob Fatu hits. He comes down to the ring, goes right after Drew and punches him right in the face, basically. Drew then sent Fatu into the ring. Posters are fighting on the outside. Fatu then no-sold it, basically, went after Drew. Drew ran away through the crowd. All of a sudden, the camera cuts back in the ring, and there's The Miz hitting Randy with a skull-crushing finale as their match is next. It was a fine opening segment, but it was long. It was very long. It was probably 30 minutes, close to it, maybe. I mean, it was at least 2025 because Drew didn't start talking till 12 minutes in and at least talked for 5 minutes before Randy came out. We then got a commercial for the Royal Rumble on January 31st. Don't believe any of these damn rumors online that say they're changing the Rumble. The building or the arena they're building's not going to be ready. Yeah, no. So we have our first qualifying match for the Saturday night's main event four-way number one contenders match. This one's Randy Orton versus The Miz. Miz hits a DDT early, but Orton bailed to the floor. Miz then went after him. Orton went for a slam on the commentary table, but Miz avoided it and gave Orton a belly-to-belly slam on the commentary table. Back in the ring, Orton got some offense in with two clotheslines and a scoop power slam. Miz bailed to the floor, and Orton hit a belly-to-belly slam on the commentary table. He did it a second time before the fans chanted one more time, so he did it again. Orton then followed this up with a draping DDT off the ropes. Orton charged for an RKO and missed. Miz slipped out of it and hit a skull-crushing finale, but only got a 2. Miz then got a roll up for a 2. Miz charged for something, and Randy hit him with an RKO. Match, maybe 5-6 minutes. It wasn't all that long, but Randy does win with RKO and qualifies, moves on to Saturday night's main event. Drew McIntyre was then shown. He was outside, and he was with the WWE Championship. Well, not outside, but he was in the back. And Ilya Dragunov just randomly shows up there and it's like, hey, Drew, I'm going to win my qualifier. Then I'm going to be number one contender. And then I'm going to come after you. And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, fine, cool, whatever. I don't care. I need to get away from this crazy man, Jacob Fight 2. And like Dragunov's just sitting here going, but I'm going to beat you. And I'm this and I'm that. And blah, 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 blah. And Drew's just like, yeah, cool, fine, whatever. I'll see you at Royal Rumble if you win. Gotta go. Like, he did not fucking care. He's like, I'll knock you out like I didn't knock Jacob Fatu's teeth out. So Drew is adamant. Drew is adamant that he's not the one that attacked Jacob Fatu. So if he's telling the truth and he's not the one, who was the one? Who is it? Was it Cody? That would be Cody heel turn though. And I don't believe that's happening. Speaking of Cody, a lot of changes for WrestleMania coming up. We know that, originally at one point they did want to do Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. But according to Dave Meltzer on the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer does state that Triple H kind of looked over his plans for WrestleMania, assessed things, and realized, fans may not want to sit through the build of another Roman Cody match so soon after just getting it twice a couple years ago. Then we got a video package airing. He was just talking about all the stuff with the MFTs and the Wyatts. The Wyatts then did a promo with Bo Dallas saying that the lantern wasn't a weapon. The lantern that he carried it into the dark so that the dark doesn't carry him. Dallas said that it doesn't belong in the hands of somebody who thinks that they could take it and do whatever they want with it and think it give them power, because it doesn't. Dallas said that it will come back to him. They will not rest until it's home. All right, they're fighting over the lantern. Cool, whatever. There was a replay of last week when Nia Jax and Lash Legend beat up Alexa Bliss before Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair wasn't there to help. Alexa Bliss was backstage with Charlotte. Bliss said that last week sucked, and she lost a title match and then was attacked afterwards. Flair said, but Bliss to get a title shot. Flair claimed that she turned down title shots for the good of the team, so maybe she is the better partner. Bliss wondered what title shot Charlotte was talking about. She didn't know anything about any of this. And she reiterated, I didn't even ask for the match. She's like, you were sick, you weren't here, what was I supposed to do? Flair then said that she was very sick, even throwing up. Flair said that she had her back, and Lexi, and she had her back. I wrote this weird in person. Bliss then left. Nia Jax, Lash Legend, walked up to Flair. They talked trash. Flair said that she knows why Bliss isn't friends with Jax anymore. Flair told Lash, watch yourself. That's the second time they've now told her, watch yourself. Now I'll turn on you. So then we had a tag team match with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Julia and Kiana James. It was okay. Yeah, it was a fine TV match. So Flair. So here's the thing. Charlotte and Kiana James, apparently, like I saw this all over social media today. They're like really good friends in real life, like outside of television. So cool. James slapped Bliss early on, so Bliss came back with some strikes. James then hit a suplex. Flair tagged in and sent James into the turnbuckle, and James hit a super kick. At one point, Julia tagged in and was in control. Hit a missile dropkick on Bliss. James was back in. Bliss avoided her, and James bumped to the floor. Bliss then kicked James to break free, and Flair tagged in. Flair ran over James with a shoulder tackle, and Flair chopped both opponents several times. Julia at one point distracted Flair by the turnbuckle, and James benefited from it. Flair did an awkward neck breaker, didn't look great on Flair. Whoa. On James, I mean. No, wait. I said Flair did an awkward neck breaker. Took an awkward neck breaker. I wrote that weird. And then James hit her with a spine buster. Julia tagged in with a knee smash for a 2. Bliss made the save. Flair then hit an elbow. Julia came back with an elbow of her own, and Flair hit a boot to the face to knock Julia out of the ring. James then tagged in with a knee lift to Flair. Bliss tagged herself in, hit the Sister Abigail DDT, and pinned her 1, 2, 3. About a 10-so-minute match. It was fine. Other than that weird-looking neck breaker, can't say anything was bad. It was fine. And that's the thing. It was just a fine TV match. That was a lot of tonight. It was just fine. After the match, Nia Jax and Lash Legends showed up for some cheap shots. Jax sent Julia into the ring post. Lash attacked Bliss and Flair from behind. Bliss then bumped to the floor. Jax sent Flair into the turnbuckle, and Julia got in Nia's face as James held Julia back. So they were building up Nia going for that championship. You know, they're building up. If what it looks like they're building is what they're building, they're building bigger names for this U.S. title than the women's title, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing because you need to put some more credibility on this women's U.S. title. You got it with the Intercontinental Championship over there with Becky Lynch, and nothing against Julia, nothing against Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green's been perfect as the U.S. champion. Julia, a little lackluster, but that's the booking. But putting more big-name women in the mix, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, that does start to slightly, sort of, somewhat give that secondary title a little more credibility. And then tell us, we're getting Cody next. Solo Sikoa was with the MFTs. Solo said the Lantern's with him. Solo said if Bo Dallas wants it back, you try to get it. He's got to give him a shot at the tag titles. Solo claimed that he's going to beat Damian Priest tonight. And then he, referring to the Lantern as Bray, basically, will be with him as Solo brings the WWE Championship to his family. Solo then blew out the Lantern. Then we got the, as Drew called him, former champion, Cody Rhodes. Cody did get some boos on his way down to the ring. That was a thing. Cody said that's okay because he guesses things had gotten episodic since, you know, he would say the same thing over and over again. What do you want to talk about? The fans then saying, oh, Drew McIntyre. Oh, Drew McIntyre. Just like they did earlier. Cody said that he wasn't just the company's champion. He's the people's champion. He's their champion, our champion. And they booed again. Cody said that he didn't want the fans to be just spectators anymore. They're his teammates. Cody said that he became predictable, though. Cody said that he didn't see all the ways that he could lose. Or is Drew McIntyre just that good? Fans cheered and sang Drew's song again. GTA, I'm not tearing down Julia at all. I literally said Julia's title reign hasn't been good because of the booking. I didn't say anything bad about Julia herself. Maybe you need to clean out them ears there, bucko. I literally said Chelsea was great as the champion, but Julia's reign was not that great because of the booking. You got to listen there, guy. Don't try to twist my words, you dumb shit. Cody then said, what does Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and he all have in common? They won back-to-back Rumbles, but only one of them has won it 3 times. That's Steve Austin. He will become a 3-time Royal Rumble winner because he is the first man to declare for the 2026 Royal Rumble. Cody said he's glad that he doesn't just get a rematch. He's going to do this old school. He's going to earn his way back to that title. And he's going to do that by winning the Royal Rumble. Cody then said, but let's talk about Jacob Fatu. Cody said that he saw Fatu early in his career. He saw him in APW, knew he was going to be great, called him an early vet or young vet, something like that, young veteran. He knew that Fatu would always be a big deal. Cody said that Fatu has the biggest receipt ever coming to him, though, because what he did last week. Cody said that Fatu can either come down to the ring and collect that receipt right now, or Cody can come find him and give it to him when he beats the brakes off his ass. Cody then threw down the microphone, and the crowd finally cheered for him when he got aggressive. He got aggressive, saying he wants to fight Jacob Fatu. They finally cheered. They were booing him every time he mentioned Drew. So Matt Cardona was interviewed in the back about his upcoming qualifying match. Matt Cardona said it's a shame that Cody's not the champion because he would have loved to fight Cody for the title. Cardona then said that, he's kind of like Drew McIntyre. He had to leave, reinvent himself, and come back here a different man. He also said that it would be interesting if he fought Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre's first ever match in WWE was against him. He then said that he's back. He wants to be at the top. He's going to become the undisputed WWE champion. Yet, you got to get through old Trick Williams first. And oh my God. Trick's music hits. You hear the trumpets. You hear the... When this crowd, whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Everybody in this building was singing whoop that Trick. And you hear the chatter online. You hear the fans sometimes say it. Well, the main crowd, the main roster crowd, know these NXT names. Do they watch NXT? Do the casual fans that only watch Raw and SmackDown really know who these guys are coming up from NXT? Do they know the Obafemis? Do they know the Javon Evans? Do they know the Trick Williams? Well, fuck, they know Trick Williams. Because he had everybody in this building whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. And this guy walks out and he's just oozing charisma and he looks like a big freaking deal. He comes off like a megastar. And not only did they sing his song when he walked down to the ring, but then they went to commercial and came back 2.5 minutes later and they were still whoop that Trick as he's standing on the middle rope. Whoop that Trick. And it's like, God damn, this guy is a freaking megastar already, basically. The only thing he needs to do is stop cutting promos like a 1970s pimp. Because that's what he sounds like to me. Sounds like old Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. Other than that, Trick Williams, whatever they call him, Big Trick Willie, he's got everything you need to be at the top of this business. I don't know if they make him main WWE champion, at least anytime soon, if ever. But he's going to be in the mix for the rest of his career. I could see him winning that World Heavyweight Championship. I just don't know. I think it might be the way he cuts his promos. That he's trying to be too much of a character and he's not genuine as just a guy. Because I don't know Trick Williams outside of watching him on TV, but does he really talk like that in real life? Does he go with his fiance, Lash Legend, meet her family and be like, "Hey, Pops, what up, Cat Daddy?" Like, no. So, yeah. Anyways, these two had a pretty good match. I thought these two worked very well together. Again, Trick is over like Rover. Oh, my God. Trick was in control early and hit a shoulder tackle. Cardona hit a drop kick and a flatliner to the mat. Cardona then clotheslined Trick out of the ring. Cardona kicked Trick to knock him down onto the floor. He then hit a drop kick off the apron onto Trick on the floor. At one point, Trick got in the ring, was in control. Hit some elbow smashes leading to a chin lock. Cardona did break free and hit a jawbreaker. Trick then hit a lefty kick to the head. Matt then blocked the move and hit a belly-to-belly suplex. The fans started chanting for both guys at this point, so that was really good to see. Not just, oh, Trick's over, but no, they liked both guys, even though Trick is the heel. They shouldn't be chanting for the heel in this match, but Cardona hit a Booski Bro, or at least tried to. I think that's what they're still calling it. I didn't hear. He then hit a zigzag, like his old buddy Dolph Ziggler, but it wasn't enough to get the pin. Got a sunset flip for a 2. Trick then charged, but Cardona moved, and Trick crashed into the turnbuckle. Trick then bailed to the floor, so Cardona kicked him on the floor. Cardona then sent Trick into the ring. Trick then brought him down. Trick hit a spinning kick to the head for a 2. At one point, Trick tried a bookend, but Cardona countered with a slam. Cardona went for a Rough Rider, but Trick avoided it. Cardona jumped off the turnbuckle. Trick avoided it. Trick then hit a pounce and then a trick shot, the old trick knee. They don't call it the trick knee anymore. It's the trick shot. and pinned him 1, 2, 3, roughly 9-10 minute match. I thought these two worked very well together. I will say that. When I said most things on the show was just all right, this was a little bit better than just all right. But really, most of the matches on this show were like solid 3-star TV matches. So Trick's leaving. We learned that, with this win, he joins Randy Orton at Saturday Night's main event. And then Kit Wilson comes out and he does his cheesy entrance with his cheesy man masculinity song or whatever it is. The fans are actually, I guess, singing along with it. I don't know. I wouldn't know the words. But he walks past Trick and immediately attacks Matt Cardona. Kit then sent Cardona into the steps. The music kept playing. He got in the ring and he posed. Go to commercial. Come back and they're speaking with Damian Priest. It's Kathy Kelly interviewing in the back. Priest said that he became Mr. Money in the Bank in London. It was him versus everybody. Everyone thinks, he can't win the big one again, but he will. He said he's going to get through Solo Sikoa. He knows he's going to have the MFTs there as a problem, but he'll do whatever it takes. Kit Wilson's still in the ring, and he's cutting some weird promo about toxic masculinity when all of a sudden, Jacob Fatu is standing behind him, and he's sitting there. He's like, shrivel, shrivel. All of a sudden, Fatu just says, fuck this guy, and beats his ass. Jacob Fatu appeared and took him out with a super kick, and the fans actually booed. Fatu then hit a senton splash on Kit, and then his double jump, mighty moonsault. Jacob then called for a microphone and said, Cody Rhodes, I hear you got my name in your mouth. Maybe you should be such a punk ass and bring your ass down here so we can fight right now. Cody, who was just out here in a full suit and coat earlier, has changed. He's now wearing a tracksuit and a t-shirt. Cody's ready to fight, and he saunters down to the ring. No, more than a saunter. He didn't really run, but he didn't really take his time. He kind of just power walked down there. Cody got in the ring, and the two start fighting. Cody and Fatu exchange punches repeatedly up into the corner before security come out. Nick Aldis comes out with them as well. They separate the men in opposite corners, but it wasn't enough. Cody jumps out of the grasp of the security, jumps on to Jacob Fatu, and they're fighting again. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not great, but hey, it established that these two don't like each other. Why? I know why Cody does, but why Jacob Fatu? What the hell did Cody do to Fatu? Does Fatu think that Cody beat him up? I don't know, because he went after Drew last week too. So I'm actually kind of confused. I know why Cody wants to fight Fatu. Cost him the fucking title. But what is Fatu's beef with Cody? So then it was officially announced Cody will fight Fatu, Saturday Night's main event. Then we had another number one contenders match, or number one contender qualifier. Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest. Sikoa had the lantern with him. They exchanged strikes early on. Priest sent him out of the ring. At one point, they were back fighting in the ring after a commercial break, and Solo was in control with the running hip attack. Solo hit another running hip attack against the turnbuckle. Solo took a little too long to go for it again, and Priest hit a spinning heel kick. At one point, Priest hit a flatliner and got a 2 off of it. Priest then went up top, but Tala Tonga tripped him up, and the referee figured out what happened, and so he ejected him from ringside. Solo went after Priest on the turnbuckle, and Priest was able to hit a razor's edge. Priest then was distracted by Solo's buddies, and Solo hit a spinning Solo slam. Solo went up top and hit a superfly splash for a 2. The Wyatt family logo then appeared on the screen as the lights went out, and they started to brawl, and I said, crap. I don't want this kind of stuff in this kind of a match. I don't need this bullshit in an important match like this. Whoa, hold on. I just got a notification. It might start snowing here in a minute. Give me 1 second. I need to check this on my weather app. Oh, there is snow in the area. Might barely miss us, though. All right. In the next hour. Where was I? So yeah, we had all this bullshit with the Wyatts and everything. Bo Dallas took the lantern. Well, seemed to take the lantern, but then Solo got it back, and somehow if things started breaking down, I just said I ain't writing these fucking notes. I don't care about all this. Like the lights went out, and I just lost interest. To be completely honest, lights went out, and I lost interest. Damian Priest won with the South of Heaven. That's all I got. The lights went out. I didn't write anything else other than Priest won with the South of Heaven because Solo in the end left with the goddamn lantern still. Damian Priest joins Trick Williams and Randy in the four-way. Sami Zayn was walking backstage when the WWE champion Drew McIntyre would approach. Drew said he heard what Sami had to say last week about wanting to win the title. Zayn said that he's about to go out there and go to war with Ilya Dragunov, and he's going to win. Zayn said that he's going to win the four-way in his hometown of Montreal. Zayn said that he's going to the Rumble. He's going to take that title from Drew McIntyre. Drew said that he's beaten Sami 11 times. Sami's beaten him 0. Drew said if they meet in Royal Rumble, ain't nothing going to change. Sami said, we'll see. If that's a real stat, 11-0, oh boy, oh boy. So then they told us, Monday on Raw, Becky defends the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Maxine Dupree. CM Punk defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor. They aired a clip from Unreal Season 2, which comes out, I want to say, Tuesday. This is all about Seth and Becky. Then we get U.S. title open challenge, Carmelo Hayes. He said he wanted to fight someone from the UK. And boy, he get one of the best right now from the UK. Leon Slater, current TNA X Division champion. Now, don't ask me about this visa stuff because I don't know what the hell's going on. How is he able to work NXT one week, but he can't work TNA in the States the next? How can he be there fighting Obafemi one week for WWE, but then all of a sudden the next week, I don't know how this visa stuff works. Is it because he can work for WWE with a specific visa for them, but he doesn't have a specific visa for TNA? Also, how did TNA flub all of this where like many people couldn't come work in the States? Lance Storm couldn't get out of Canada to produce the show or be a producer on the show. Don't get me started on that TNA show. Holy crap, TNA going TNA. That's all I got to say. And their cameras, don't get me started on that. TNA still feels like they got cameras from 2008. Upgrade your cameras. Upgrade your cameras. The cameras looked better in that segment with Jay Lethal and Ric Flair. That's my line. Then than they do now. God damn. Then, no. There's no way Balor is beating Punk for the title. I get it. They're in Ireland. They're in Belfast. No, bro. That ain't happening. But what did happen was Carmelo Hayes versus Leon Slater. And this match was weird because I haven't seen. Did Carmelo actually get hurt or was he trying to just sell this big? So Melo and Slater each got near falls early on. Melo hit a springboard clothesline. Slater came back with a couple of hard chops. Melo flipped over Slater, and then Melo was favoring his leg. This got kind of weird. Slater hit a spinning kick to the head, and like the ref kept checking on Melo, and then Melo would like grab the leg and the knee and be like, hit it a couple times, be like, all right, I'm good, let's go. And then he'd tell the ref he's fine, and then like they do some stuff, and then like he'd kind of bounce off the leg, but not really use that leg, and then he'd like check the leg again, and then he'd tell the ref, all right, yeah, I'm good, let's keep going. And it's like, what the hell? It just all felt weird. Slater jumped over the top with the crossbody at one point to the floor. Back in the ring, Slater jumped off the top of the crossbody, got a 2 off of it. Melo did a leapfrog at one point, followed by a drop kick. Slater sent Melo into the turnbuckle and hit a running drop kick. The two then did a crazy looking, almost didn't rotate enough looking, springboard Spanish fly from Slater to the champion. The match continued with Slater hitting a kick to Melo's head. Melo then got an inside cradle for a 2 at one point. Slater hit a jumping side kick for a 2. Melo was sent into the ring from the outside after they were battling on the apron. And Slater hit a leg drop. Didn't really get much off of it. Melo at one point went back to the apron and then sold the leg again as he went to the floor. Slater then jumped over the post with a somersault dive onto Melo on the floor. Slater was then hit with a 450 swanton, but Melo avoided it, and Melo hit the first 48 for a 2. Melo went up top, but Slater went up after him. Melo was able to jump off the top with a massive cutter and pin him about 13 minutes in to retain the United States Championship. It was a really good match. I think these two worked well together, even though it was kind of weird because the way Melo was selling, I don't know if he's really hurt or if he was just, that was the match they wanted to have. It was weird. Corey says, really silly that Leon Slater gets to wrestle in his home country instead of in America. How ironic is that? Really? Well, here's the thing. You got to have a work visa. You live outside of the United States to come into the United States and actually work a job you're getting paid for. And because there was an issue with many visas of people on that show last night, whether that is from talent or producers, he couldn't come to the United States and work, which is still weird because he worked the week before. But because he was free, TNA said, sure, you can use him. And they used him. They're better for it. 4-star match, easily. Shinsuke Nakamura was shown watching on the TV. Tama Tonga then said that Nakamura is looking for that U.S. title, but it belongs with him. Tama said that once the U.S. title comes to the MFTs, Tama is going to take the U.S. title. Okay. Tama then warned Nakamura to stay out of his way. Nakamura said something in Japanese and then laughed. Tama keeps saying I want the title, but he's not getting these open challenges. Come on, guy. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae were backstage. Axiom walked up to Gargano, said he wants his mask. Gargano looks away. Another person with an Axiom mask shows up. It was Nathan Frazier, punched Gargano. Frazier said that he talked to Nick Aldis, who is against Gargano next week, and they could take Axiom's mask after. This whole storyline's kind of just, they got some guys that are all really good and work well together. Let's put them in something and whatever. We then got a video package. Oba Femi's coming. Then the women's champion, Jade Cargill, was seated at ringside to watch the upcoming match between Jordynne Grace and Chelsea Green. This is a 3-minute squash, just like last week with Jordynne Grace and Alba Fire. Corey says, is a visa some sort of green card or something? No. How do I explain it? A work visa basically says you are not a American citizen, but you legally have been given permission to work in America. Let me see. Definition of U.S. work. The U.S. work visa is a government authorization allowing a foreign national to legally work in the United States, either temporarily or under a specific period of time, requiring must get approval, must have forms from the employer they are working for, and must show that they are skilled in the specialization of what they are working in. Yeah. So I guess sort of like a green card, but not fully. It's a little different. Because you're not looking for like residency or status to stay in the country permanently. It's mostly more of like a temporary thing. So it's like a work permit. It's a permission to get paid to work in the United States, even though you're not legally from the United States. Because it has all things to do. Don't even get me started on taxes and all that. Anyways, Jordynne Grace and Chelsea Green. Green slapped her a couple times, but it didn't really do much. So Grace slapped her back, hit a spine buster. Grace then hit a delayed vertical suplexing for her too. Green then set Grace face first into the turnbuckle. Green shoved Grace into the turnbuckle once again. Green then slammed Grace's head into the mat and got a one off of it. Grace hooked the arms of Green and sent her into the turnbuckle. Grace elbowed Green to knock her back into the turnbuckle. Grace caught the leg and hit a suplex. Grace then hit a cartwheel driver that Joe called the direct effect and pinned her 1, 2, 3. Still, the quick squash match. I mean, you can't even rate this match because it was so quick. It's like 3 minutes. Jordynne Grace then did a promo to Jade Cargill afterwards and said that it was nice of her to come see her firsthand. Grace then challenged Jade to step into the ring right up on her. Jade got on the apron. Green then charged at Grace, who moved, so Green knocked Jade off the apron. Grace then held up the WWE Women's Championship, and Grace tossed it back down to Jade on the floor. I love this. I love they're putting Jordynne Grace right out there at the top. They're saying, hey, you can go challenge the champion. Does she beat Jade for the belt? I don't think so. I'd have her beat Jade for the belt, but I don't think so. When you look at all the women on the roster, you need to freshen things up. Why not freshen it up with a seasoned vet like Jordynne Grace? She's what Cody would call a young vet, I guess you would say. Trick Williams was interviewed in the back. Kathy Kelly. Trick said that he looks like money and feels like money because he is money. He said, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, congratulations because we got future business. I'm going to beat both of you next Saturday. He said it just like this. Again, no one talks like that in real fucking life. Priest then interrupted, suggested facing Trick in a match next Friday on Smackdown. Priest said that, I'm free to whoop that Trick, and then walked off. Then we got Dragunov coming out for his match with Sami Zayn. They announced a couple things for next week. Julia and Kiana James versus Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend in a number one contender triple threat match. Now we know that the current number one contenders are Judgment Day, Roxy and Liv getting title shot at Saturday Night's Main Event, but yeah. They also announced WWE Tag Team Championship match for next week. The Wyatts, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus the MFTs. Don't know which two members though. And Priest versus Trick. So Sammy made his entrance. Crowd to the whoa, whoa, let's go. They sang along with Sammy's awesome theme song. I've always loved that theme. And Ilya, who beat Sammy for the title back in October, the U.S. title, was ready to go. And I'm like, oh man, if this is half as good as that U.S. title match, this is going to be great. This was going to be great. And I would say it was really good. But the Leon Slater Carmelo Hayes match was match of the night. Like I'm trying to compartmentalize that in my head and think about it. I did like Carmelo and Leon Slater just slightly more. Like if that's a 4-star match, like I said, this is 3.5, 3 4/4, or 3 3/4. So as far as this match does go, Zayn jumped over Ilya early on, but Ilya connected with a boot to the face. Ilya chopped Zayn following a knee to the ribs and then a knee to the head. One point, Zayn avoided a charge by Dragunov, and Zayn hit a brainbuster for a 2. After Zayn hit some strikes, Ilya hit a knee lift and a German suplex. One point, Zayn hit a superplex off the top rope. Both guys were down in the middle of the ring as the show went to break. At one point, Ilya then powered up Zayn into a belly-to-belly suplex and got a 2 off of it. Ilya then hit Zayn with some elbow smashes to the back. Ilya and Zayn then exchanged palm strikes. Zayn hit a DDT and got a 2 off of it. Then, interestingly enough, you hear the referee, Daphne LaShawn. Like, Ilya yells, "Let's go!" at Sammy, and then you hear the referee say something like 30 seconds. So I guess it's like 30 seconds to break or something. I don't know. We're back from break. I don't know. But you can hear them calling shit. That was weird. So Zayn punches Dragunov a few times, and then he punches him so hard in the face that he's bleeding from the eyebrow. Sammy busted him up a hard way, it looked like. The two battle by the turnbuckle as Zayn hit a sunset flip powerbomb. And Ilya then spun around the ropes and hit a lariat. Ilya went up top and hit a missile dropkick for a 2. Ilya then went for an H-bomb, but Zayn got hit with the boot and blocked it. Zayn then tried a suplex, and Ilya countered with a running kick. Ilya then hit 2 running clotheslines on Zayn against the turnbuckle. Ilya ran the ropes. Zayn charged with the kick, and Ilya avoided it. So Zayn hit the turnbuckle. Then he went for the Torpedo Moscow. Zayn then got back into the ring if they were fighting on the outside. Right before the 10 count, Ilya hit a power bomb. Ilya went up top and jumped off with the senton, but Sammy got his knees up right to the back of the head of Dragunov. Zayn then hit the exploder suplex into the turnbuckle. Haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. Sammy is moving on to Saturday night's main event. So that match, the number one contenders 4-way, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Sami Zayn. So after the match, Zayn celebrated his big win, but Trick Williams was standing there and attacked him. Trick hit Zayn with a forearm to the back. Trick then hit the trick shot knee, and Zayn went down. Trick then stood tall over a fallen Sami Zayn as the show went off the air. With that, guys, that was Friday Night Smackdown. A good show. Not as good as last week, but a pretty dang good show. I would say, the 3 hours still hasn't felt bad yet. But we'll give it some time. We do know they're not going to be 3 hours forever because Braun Strowman's show's coming back, and that's going to be after SmackDown on Fridays. But they got to film it first, and they're getting 12 episodes instead of 8. Where if you haven't seen season 1 of Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman, highly recommend it. Because Braun Strowman, as good as he was as a WWE superstar and personality, he's just as good hosting this show. But with that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to quickly check these polls and see what you guys thought of SmackDown. So let's go over here. As far as the polls do go, looking at the Twitter X poll, 81% liked the show, 9% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Looking at the Threads poll, 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. Looking at the community poll, 86% liked the show, 8% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. And finally, the live poll, 78% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, have a great weekend.